Well, hello again, beloved confirmands. This is now our last session of the 2021-2022 class year for confirmation. And we've been through a lot this year. I'm so grateful for your work as we've made it through Luther's Small Catechism, learning about the Lord's Prayer, the Apostles' Creed, the Ten Commandments, and now the sacraments. It's been really good, And so for this last sacrament, right, we talked earlier in our previous video about baptism and the important things about that. But now I'm in a different location, here by the communion table. And I'm here because this is the place where God gathers us every week for communion. God gathers us here to do some things, like God does with water, like we talked about with baptism. God does some things here with bread and wine. Of course, this tradition of ours, this practice, this ritual, this sacrament of Holy Communion, in our tradition, we point back to the night before Jesus was betrayed, the night before the day of his death, when he gathered with his disciples in that upper room and shared his last meal with them. He broke bread, gave it to them. He poured wine, shared it with them. And he told his disciples that the bread was his body, is his body, and that the wine is his blood, both given and shed for us, to forgive us, to give us new life, and to pass on that new life to others as well. And so this is the table where that happens. I know we've been in worship together for a good few years now, and you could probably recite some of these words on your own from memory that we say around the table. But the important thing to remember about this meal, when we come up, when we receive the sacraments, whether we're in the pew still or whether we are able to come up farther, maybe later when it's safer to do so, we remember God's love for us. That Jesus opened his table to so many people, unexpected people like us, people whom God loves. And so when we come and we eat bread, we drink wine, we take that love in our own bodies. We know God's presence with us as close as food in our bellies, which I think is really powerful. But then this meal feeds us so that we can be sent out by God. God will send us out so we can share such love, such inclusion, such welcome with others, with the whole world. And that's the cool thing about this table, right? Because right now it's the middle of the week, right? We've got it all set up ready for Pentecost worship this coming Sunday. But during the week, this space is empty. And all of us have been sent out. We're all in our lives doing our own thing. We're going to school. We're studying. We're preparing for things over the weekend. We are having fun, summer break, all the rest. But when we come back Sunday after Sunday, we're again fed, nourished, and sent back out into the world with that love that God gives. And so I've got two last questions for you, similar to those questions about baptism. Question number one that I'd like to hear a good response from you regarding: how does eating bread connect us with others? That's question number one. And how does eating bread connect us with God? I'd like to hear a paragraph on each of those from your perspective, what those mean. And with that, we will be done with this year, but not done forever, because of course confirmation is just one step in the journey. It's a door opening to the future. It's an invitation to continue living the life of faith, continue wrestling with the big questions of our lives, to continue to remember God's presence with us, even in the hardest times. And so, beloved confirmands, may God's love and peace be with you always. Until next time.